Today we're going to be talking about the church as we read of it in the New Testament. Now the word church comes from the Greek, and that word is ekkelsia or ecclesia, depending on how you pronounce it, and it means the called out. Originally it was talking about the people who were called out of their homes to a meeting in the village or the town. But for us, it's talking about the called out, those who were called out from the world, called out from sin, called into Christ Jesus. The first place we read about the church is found in the book of Matthew chapter 16. And in this passage, Jesus asks the disciples, who do the people say that the Son of Man is? The disciples answered, they say that you are John the Baptist, or Elijah, Jeremiah, or one of the other prophets. You see, the people did not know who the Son of Man was. They didn't know who Jesus was. They thought he was a resurrected prophet. But then Jesus said, but who do you say that I am? Now Peter gives the answer, the good confession, the showing of his faith in Matthew chapter 16 and verse 16. But Simon answered, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. We can see the greatness of his faith. Here is Peter saying to this man Jesus, you are the Christ, the Messiah. You are the Messiah, the anointed one, the one that was promised by God. You are he. But more than that, he says, you are the Son of the living God. Now we need to think about this phrase. We know that the Son shares the nature of the Father. My Son has the same nature as me. He's human. Well, what about Jesus? He is the Son of the living God. The nature of the Father, well, he's deity. He's God. The nature of the Son, he shares that nature. He too is deity, and he is God. Notice Jesus' reply in verse 17. And Jesus said to him, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. But I say to you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overpower it. Now some may be confused and think that, well, the church was built on Peter. The church was never built on Peter. Peter was a man, a good man, but only a man. Later on in this very same chapter, Jesus says to him when he stumbles, he says, get behind me, Satan. No, the church was not built on Peter, but the rock, Jesus Christ. Jesus the Christ, the Son of the living God. And notice what he says about the church. Upon this rock, I will build my church. There are three things we need to understand here. First of all, Jesus says, I will build the church. You know, any church that is built by any other man or woman is not the church of the Bible. And then he goes on and says, I will build my church. You see, the church is owned by Jesus. He bought it with his blood. But yet there are men and women who claim their church has other names or other owners. This is not the church of the Bible. The church of the Bible is owned by Jesus, and it should carry his name. And thirdly, he says, I will build my church. You notice he uses the singular here. Jesus only built one church. Now there may be many churches around today founded by different men, different women, and may carry different names. But the church that Jesus built, well, there was only one church that he was going to build. And today we can be a part of that church. If we follow the Bible, we do not add to it, we do not take away from it. We can mirror that church in the Bible. We can have the same entrance into it, we can have the same practices, we can have the same faith that is found in the Bible. If we only follow the teachings of Jesus, the Messiah, the Christ, the Son of the living God. Well, we're going to continue studying about the church in the New Testament and discover more and more about it. Thank you very much for your time today.